Jai Hind. Honorable members, this August House has the tradition of taking note of and bringing on the record of the House the spectacular initiatives, endeavors and accomplishments of our nation as and when they happen. One such latest occasion has been provided by the commendable performance of our contingent in the Tokyo Olympics that concluded yesterday. I may make a little longer than usual to present on behalf of the House for record the defining Tokyo moment for our nation in proper perspective. The Tokyo Games turned out to be the best Olympic moment for our nation in the last 121 years of its Olympic journey. As a British colony, India first participated in the Paris Olympics. Please, Vijay Reddy, and the chair is on his legs. Please, you can come afterwards. By even the staff also. Here is my instruction to all the watch and ward staff and also these marshals. They are also not supposed to move when the chairman is saying something. Our House is taking even a reference in respect of the persons or even memory of persons. This has to be followed by one and all. As a British colony, India first participated in the Paris Olympics in the year 1900. It took such a long time to script "we too can do it" movement, erasing the memories of desperation, despondency, dejection and disbelief, compounded by the poor medal performance every 4 years. The golden record of our men's hockey team till 1980 and rare good performance by some individual athletes notwithstanding, our nation has come to lose self-esteem, confidence, morale and hope in the domain of sports further to poor performance in the Olympics arena. No nation can hold its head high in any domain with such a lack of confidence and low esteem, more so for an young India whose voice is finding increasing traction in the world. The Olympic spirit is no doubt more about the spirit of participation than winning medals. However, the number of medals do matter as they come as the final testimony for the sporting prowess of any nation. More so when Olympic medals add to the global perception of emerging economies, with the level of sports being an important element of soft power. It is in respect of number of Olympic medals won that our nation has been subjected to despair for too long. In the 24 Olympic appearances till Rio Olympics in 2016, our nation could not win even a single medal. In 6, could not fetch single medal each. In 13, 2 medals in 3 Olympics, 3 in Beijing Games in 2008 and a high of 6 medals in London Games in 2012. Our country could secure the first individual gold medal only in Beijing Games in 2008 through Abhinav Bindra in shooting. The first female medal winner in Olympics could rise on the horizon only in Sydney Games in 2000 through Karanam Malleswari in weightlifting. Not even a single medal in track and field events for 120 years. In addition, accepting some rare noteworthy performances, our nation has come to be used to early exits from the competitions in various events, the Olympics and meek surrender that made our people drop their heads in frustration sometimes. It is in this backdrop that the Tokyo Olympics turned out to be the best for our nation, not only in terms of highest ever number of 7 medals won, but also in terms of the grit demonstrated, as was evident in quite a few close finishes and a large number of our athletics entering the medal-winning rounds of competition. Tokyo Olympics heralded resurgence, renaissance and a national awakening in sports in our country by restoring the depleted confidence and self-esteem. Of the 120-member Indian contingent for Tokyo, 55 of them have fought in the quarter-finals. Out of 120 of Indian continent in Tokyo, 55 of them have fought in the quarter-finals and above, marking the highest ever penetration into medal rounds of competition. For the first time, 5 of our athletes fought for the gold and over 40 made it to the semi-finals. This is quite significant as it indicates the scope for substantially improving medal harvest in the near future, as our sports persons set their eyes on the Paris Olympics in 2024 with newfound confidence. Our tricolor, the symbol of national pride, was hoisted in the Olympics arena after 13 long years in Tokyo. As the 140 crore nation, circling and heading for more such movements for long, stood up, elevated, and with misty eyes as our national anthem was played out. We hope to have more such glorious moments in the years to come, and sportspersons to make it a habit of winning from now on. The young and confident Neeraj Chopra, the last contestant of the games of our country, is the youngest, 23-year-old, for our contingent on the 7th of August, did our nation proud with his golden javelin throw. The way he dominated the field right from the word go, never seen before, made our people rejoice, as it was a statement of we too can do it. In the process, he brought curtains down on decades of despair. His feat helps in healing the fostering wound of recurrent despair. Earlier on the same day, wrestler Bajrang Punia also did the country proud with a bronze medal. Despite his knee injury, Punia fought valiantly to make it 2 medals for the country in a day, a rare occurrence. Before Neeraj Chopra set the field on fire, our men and women hockey players scripted history through their spectacular and gritty performances, restoring the waning confidence in our sport of the nation's heart, hockey. Men's team entered the semi-finals after 49 long years and fought valiantly to win a medal after 41 years. The women brave hearts, having made Olympics debut in 1980, made it to the semi-final after 41 years and only in their 3rd appearance. These stellar performances are harbingers of regeneration of interest in sports and in general, and hockey in particular, in our country. As clear markers of a hope for the future, a large number of our contingent were first-time Olympians and still performed spectacularly in Tokyo. 11 men and 8 women hockey players did so. Neeraj Chopra, Ravikumar Dahiya, Mirabai Chanu, Lovelin Borgohain, and Bajrang Punia have won medals in their first Olympics. Fencer Bhavani Devi showed promise, winning for the first round as our country made debut in this sport. P.V. Sindhu emerged as the first Indian woman to win 2 Olympic medals and only the second to do so, and that too in successive games. This August House is further happy to take note of the spectacular emergence of our women athletes in the international sports arena, and they are coming to the fore as medal winners. In 2016 Rio Games, both the medal winners were women. In Tokyo, 3 of the 7 medal winners were women. In the process, 5 of the 9 medal winners in the last 2 Olympics are women, a matter of celebration. Particularly so when our women have to overcome orthodoxies and prejudices that restrict them from taking to sports. Our women sports persons are scripting history, and this bodes very well for our medal-hungry nation. This August House is delighted over one of its honourable members, Srimati Mary Kom, representing the country in Tokyo Olympics. She is the first serving member of Parliament to represent India, first in Rio Olympics. The 6-time world champion is the first female boxer to win an Olympic boxing medal for the country, and she won a bronze medal in 2012 London Games. The 39-year-old, during her 20-year-long sports career, made immense contribution towards inspiring women into competitive sports. She lost her bout in a split verdict in Tokyo. This August House is proud of the achievements of Srimati Mary Kom. India finished at 47 on the Tokyo medal tally, but improved from 67 in the last Rio Games. 4 gold medals would have placed us at around 20 and another 4 among the top 10 in the medals tally. Our Tokyo performance, besides our other takeaways, have defined our mission for the future. It is to be much higher than the medals table given the feasibility as revealed from our Tokyo performances. Our mission shall be in the top 10. Our mission shall be in the top 10 at the earliest possible. We can do it as India has discovered itself in Tokyo Olympics. Honourable Member, the country's rich traditional sports particularly rural sports, need to be galvanized for making a mark in the Asian, Commonwealth, World and Olympic competitions. A medal-churning superstructure cannot be built on a weak substructure of low passion, inadequate sports culture. Over 40% of our Tokyo contingent come from Haryana and Punjab. These two states deserve appreciation for putting in place right ecosystem of sports. Others need to emulate them for more champions to emerge. This House wishes the budding sports person of our country all the very best. The Government of India has mobilized the best efforts preparing for Tokyo Games and identifying and nurturing the medal talent besides providing holistic professional, the scientific support required. The best possible international exposure have been enabled for the promising. It has also paid dividends in Tokyo as borne out by the mood-lifting performance of Neeraj Chopra and others. This should be taken forward with the added trust required from Tokyo experience. This House places on record the deep appreciation of the Tokyo Olympic medal winners and the gritty losers in close finishes and all other participants for giving the country its best Olympic moment. The House also appreciates the central and state governments, sports persons like the Indian and also patrons like the Indian Railways, Indian Army and others, the coaches, the supporting staff, the sporting bodies and all other stakeholders for being partners in this glorious movement. This August House further hopes that all the stakeholders, including private sector, will collectively script more such moments of joy by sponsoring, by supporting, by encouraging the sports in our country. I know that I have taken a little longer time, but the occasion warranted, as it is the Tokyo Olympics would be etched in the history as the first moment of national awakening in sports.
Signing of the Indo-Soviet Treaty on Peace, Friendship and Cooperation that made the 1971 events possible. It was a crucial transformative movement in our diplomacy and it was a major cause for our diplomatic and military victory in 1971.
Let us not have a controversy. It's a fact, historical fact.
We should not have controversy. It's a fact of history.
History, that's all.
Sir.
Please, no commentaries.
Honorable Chairman, sir, you very rightly said it's a historic day and you read the first reference with regard to the Quit India movement. All of us are grateful for those who gave us freedom. Sir, the reference did not mention that the call was given following the passage of the resolution at the historic Gavalia tank by the Congress Working Committee, which led to the banning of the Congress and the imprisonment of all its leaders for 3 full years.
We can include it. It does not have controversies. It's a historical fact. I have no hesitation. It can be included.
Thank you, sir.
But this is unfair. This is not expected, at least on this occasion. If you don't want it to be a Solomon affair and want to create, I understand. No? I am talking about the other people. And whatever is part of the history, please. What? This is a history, that also is history. Everything is history. And only thing is, I only appeal to all of us, all of our honorable members. Let us remember the Quit India movement spirit. Let us remember the great performance by our sports persons in Tokyo, and let us also rededicate ourselves in strengthening democracy by having a peaceful conduction of the House. Okay. Yes, yeah, and I'm just coming. I have received notices from 7-8 members under 267. Some are on Pegasus, some are on farmers issue, some are on floods across in different parts of the country because of heavy rains. Members, for your information, I have already admitted, I have already said it in the Business Advisory Committee meeting and also conveyed to the government about the need to discuss the farmers' issue once again. One. I have already admitted farmers' issue, price rise, flood issue and other issues. If this is the way, no, please sit down, please sit down. Let us not spoil the atmosphere. Keeping that in mind, I am adjourning the House to 12 o'clock.